Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars Dad, Dude's Too Good. I'm here with your old pal, Songeta, joining us once again with my like and subscribe guy directly over his, well, almost over his face. But anyway, I loaded it up there. Songeta, how is life going? What's happening, man? And anything to tell us? I don't know. We're going to talk about your account, but what's going on?
Doing well. Been working on a home renovation project, taking a break to be here with you, and happy to talk about some free-to-play stuff.
Well, I am too blessed, thank you, sir, for taking a break to home renovation. There's nothing more exciting than that. What I want to talk to you about is I reached out to you. I've started this free-to-play account 4 weeks ago, and you've been doing it since the beginning of the year. And they're not parallel, but they're similar because I did a big vote. My people wanted me to go for Lord Vader. So that leads me to Bad Batch and leads me to Galactic Republic. We chose a negotiator. All mine was by voting. And when it turns out a lot of it's similar to what you're doing, so I kind of wanted to pick your brain a little bit and talk about free-to-play farming. And so I'll get to my first question here, and I've got your account up. I want to talk about you staying in the top parts of Fleet Arena with the, I always say Endurance initially, and then flipping over to Negotiator. I just want to talk about that experience and the ships you're using, and how I can replicate that on my account, because it was pretty cool to see you in the top 10 with Endurance, even after the Lightspeed bundle came out.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot better than I anticipated, given the Lightspeed bundles. I thought my goose was cooked when those came out with the Negotiator. And I'm still using Endurance. Like, I've actually switched back and forth between them. Because there's some matches where I can't get it done with my 5-star Negotiator. And the 7-star Endurance is better. I just love Endurance. I mean, you're building up to something, Negotiator. It's like you need to get off this wombo combo right away to win, and there's no threat you're building towards. Like, the ultimate is very lackluster. The best move is the opening move, the AoE Daze, Mass Assist, Valor. Like, it's got everything. So, like, if it doesn't go well for you with that, like, in a mirror where they get it off first, you're dazed, you're not, and like you probably got buff immunity on you. It's kind of rough. And Endurance, it has the survivability. Its ultimate is just so much better than Negotiators. It's in another class, so you need to be able to use both. I mean, I have a 6-star Endurance. I'll get a 7-star Endurance before Negotiator, and it'll be a while before Negotiator is just a clear better option. It's kind of like I'm really good at beating Negotiator lamps where it's Ahsoka 5s and Anakin starting, but if you throw a Houndstooth in there, there's not. It's kind of a crapshoot. But yeah, Endurance is good at that. You just get Anakin low so that the other Negotiator uses the rescue move as opposed to the AoE, and then you can get off to the races. As far as like your new account, I definitely think Endurance is so far superior to all the others. You're not going to like get out the gate in a new account with it just kicking butt, but it gives you the tools you need to like survive and do stuff. For the longest time, my starting lineup was 5s, Ahsoka, and TIE Fighter Pilot, just because it was kind of weird, but I didn't have a good tank. Like Sunfac would be a good dark side tank to use for that challenge, but it takes a while to like get there, get them usable. TIE Fighter was developed way faster. I just got some extra turn meter that kind of the AI kind of avoids hitting TIE Fighter. And then you can force taunt on 5s. Those are all easy farm ships. But then and even when you unlock Anakin's ship, you can't really use it right away because it's too flimsy.
Yeah.
So you got to wait for the extra stars and get your Anakin up and running. And Anakin sucks early game in the land game. Like, he's kind of useless until you get to like year 12. And then like where it really took off is when I unlocked Bosk and had Houndstooth. Because as soon as I had like a 2-star Gear 11 Bosk, which is usable. And then I was able to start climbing more.
So, and that's better than the Y-Wing, right? I mean, the Y-Wing is good, but it's not Houndstooth, right? I mean, is that
it takes forever for it to get to the breakaway point where it's survivable enough to be a tank.
Okay.
So
remind me, where are we farming the Umbaran Starfighter? I know it's in the Galactic War shop sometimes. Were you grabbing it with like fleet currency, or where were you grabbing it?
So Fives' node, his hard node, it actually has his ship. So I was able to unlock it before level 60, which was a big deal. It is on Dark Side 2D, so you can start farming that really early.
Okay.
And yeah, like it is in the shipments. I like to grab the shipments once it was available and just try to accelerate that as much as I could. But like early, like even having like a 2-star ship right when you hit level 60 is a big deal. It helped me get through a lot of the fleet battles, like 1A, 1B, like those type things. And then also, I didn't really get crystals like first 1 or 2 days because I had a really crappy placement. I was like 800.
Me too.
But it helped me climb.
So instead of getting 5s in the cantina shop, you just farmed him with regular energy?
No, I did both. I did both.
Okay.
I never do either or stuff. It's like whatever you can get.
I get it.
I got a 7-star 5s, and I probably had like a 3 or 4-star fighter, but I just kept farming the node.
All right,
or 2 for a while.
I'm already at level 65, and I've not been farming that, so I might have to back up and look at that because I really want to make sure I've got these fleets together. And I unlocked fleets. Obviously, I'm at 65, so it was last week or whatever. And I'm right now floating at 100, like right at 100. I came in at like 750 or something, but now I've got all these hyperdrive fleets and lightspeed fleets in front of me, and I've climbed up to like 70 or 72, but I can't get above that. Maybe it's because I don't have Umbarn in there. And let me ask you this. So I always focus really hard on the executrix early on because you've got to get ready for level 78, right? With 5 dark side ships. So, and I think you were ready for both, right? You were farming the dark side and your Galactic Republic at the same time?
I got that challenge is super hard. I got it done when I was like level 79. So
Okay.
I was a few days behind. I maybe missed like one of the Zeta mat challenges, 1 or 2, but it's not a big deal. It was really hard. I didn't expect it to be as hard as it was. But yeah, it was TIE Fighter Pilot, TIE Silencer, I think Geo Spy, Geo Soldier, and then Phosphatopa, just because it was easy to farm in the raid currency, and that was just a token. I never developed it at all, but it was painful. I have a video on it. I spent like hours and hours. Like I was trying to record to catch the actual, the successful one because it was on RNG Fest. I had the weakest possible fleet.
Right.
It was horrible, but. It's like I didn't want to invest the whole account's identity into that one challenge. I was like, look, I just need 5-star executrix. The actual event itself, you can use light side ships. So for the Zeta mats, it's just all dark side to unlock executrix. So I was like, I'll just use my good light side ships after that. I just want to barely unlock executrix and then let the light side carry.
I'm going to go for a little. So I'm not farming geos. Like that was one of the agreements is I'm not going to farm the geos to try something different because geos are. I mean, I just think you have to do it. They're easy. They're easy dark side ships. They're easy characters. They're all right there. So I'm actually doing. I've got the TIE Silencer at 5 stars. I've got my TIE Fighter at 5 stars. Special Forces is almost at 5 stars. I'm doing Vulture Droid. So that's going to give me an Iden Versio. I'm actually doing an Iden Versio Trooper team on the side. That's my second team I'm farming.
Slow but effective.
Right.
How many shards you got?
The Vulture Droid is at. I've refreshed it every day, and I had double drops in there. Remember that? So I'm at level 6.
So you've done the 25 refresh every day?
Yeah, I've done the 25 refresh every day on the Vulture Droid because I don't think I'll get it to 5 stars otherwise.
That's expensive.
It is. It's 25 crystals a day, but I just don't think they're without doing the geos. I was looking around like I just don't have another solid place to because I don't need a pilot for it, right? I can just kick it out there. And
that's great.
It's really effective as a reinforcement too. If you bring it on, once it gets the blind for everybody, that's a nice little feature for it. And I'm going to do Sith Fighter because at level 69, you open up Cantina 6. Yeah, and it's actually the fighter and the assassin are on the same node. So I can farm that one node and get it done.
So what level does that sector unlock?
Level 69. And I looked, it's going to give me, I think I saw between 69 to 78. I think it was like 4 to 6 weeks, which should be enough to get it to 5 stars on a Cantina node.
Are you doing refreshes?
I don't know yet. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm at level 65 right now, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it will be a close shave, but yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I hadn't thought of that. Um, but I mean, that's definitely a niche situation where if you're pigeonholed to not go GAOs,
Right.
that's an option. So that's kind of like a challenge for you, like
Exactly.
challenge condition. But yeah, smart.
So let's talk a little bit more. So I'm definitely gonna get on 5 ship right away. I've been farming some future stuff. Like when I have extra energy, I'll go grab some Nisa shards, or I'll go grab like I'm gonna do the Revens because I'm going through the assault battles as well. The vote was I got to do tier 3 of all the assault battles. So
Tier
hey,
3. Oh man.
so I got to go get both Revens for those ground war, and I can never remember the Sith one, but so I'm getting
Place
those
of
as well.
power.
But so what I'll do is instead of farming, I think I've been doing Bastila, the Bastila node, and the Mission Zalbar node and Nisa node, just so when I have extra. Instead of doing that, I'll jump it over to 5s, and we'll start pumping that out and see if I can make that work.
Yeah.
So you're 6 months in. You've got and
Well, it's 5 months in.
5. That's right. Almost 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. And your goal
Almost
was
5 months.
you say what? Oh, 5 full months of
Almost
playing.
5 months. Yeah.
On the
So
6th
I'm
month,
about
right?
to go into the starting the
Got it.
6th month.
So
Yeah.
your stated goal at the beginning, and we've talked about this before. It was basically take the Galactic Republic, go to the Marauder, and secure your fleet arena that way. And I don't remember what step 2 was. What was step 2 after that? I mean,
So
step
here's
2.
the thing about me, Nooch. I mean, I try to make steps for people in guides because they need them. I don't like steps. I don't like goals. I just try to do things and keep going. Like, so my goal is just a second account, a free account, because the element of farming and planning and resource, like being a steward of your resources, that element of the game is kind of lost on me in my main account. It's just like, okay, new thing, farm that.
Right.
I have like all this gear. And like a big fun part of the game is the resource management and the farming. So that is what this is. And I always kind of hated the thought of making a new account because I didn't like any of the options. Like executrix geos, boring. Like I don't like people were going for Supreme Kylo. That was the thing for the longest time. Or Executor. Those are like delayed payoffs. But with Marauder really changed things, and Captain Rex changed things. Because I always liked Phoenix, the efficiency, Rebels, and Phoenix. A couple of solved battles, unlock a bunch of different legendaries, but they sucked. I still recommended them, but they sucked. So Captain Rex and Marauder just changed everything,
Yeah.
and I was like, "That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna like it's a clear path. I'm gonna enjoy that." In any future farming guide, I'm gonna be more about like, okay, fleets, assault battles, and then GAC. Like
I think that's right.
everyone else, if you're not spending, everyone else is gonna like just rush so far past you with light speed. So you need to focus on things where it doesn't matter where the other players are. PvE, like assault battles, it's like building up infrastructure. I think everyone needs to just get challenge tier 1 is the biggest thing. Challenge tier 2 is nice, it's great, but challenge tier 1 is so vital with those finishers and those chirotechs.
Yeah.
The Zaders are nice too, but like those are pieces you're not really getting in the quantities you need without just sacrificing all your normal energy. So it's like, I think you need to build up all that stuff first, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to do all the challenge tier 1s. I'm not going to break my back trying to go for 2 and 3.
Right.
So that I feel for you that you have to do 3 because your audience is making you do that. This could take forever. But yeah, it's going to be Phoenix, Imperial Troopers, Jedi Revan team, and then a Sith team. So it's not it's like 4 teams. And then fleet is all the forever priority. Like you always have to keep going on fleet. But my Marauder is almost 6-star. I've got like a gear 10, gear 9, and gear 8 Bad Batch. So I need to give them Chirotech. And then it's already hitting pretty hard. So it's already got like 93,000 health and 16K offense in the stats. So it's going good. So I don't have steps. It's just we're going to keep going.
So, and did you just get this 7-star Rex? Because it can't have been that long since you got the Captain Rex 7 stars, right?
It was like a week and a half ago.
Nice.
So I haven't got to use him 7-star in assault battles yet.
Okay. And I have not done a lot of Bad Batch in the past, and you've only got Echo 4 stars. I see that. and they're fun. Are you getting that? You getting the sound glitch all the time when you do it, where it keeps going wah wah wah
For
wah wah
Bad
wah wah?
Batch?
You get that?
Huh?
There's
Right
when
now?
no when I play with the Bad Batch in game, there's a
Oh,
sound
no,
glitch where
I
it
don't know what
just
you're talking about.
really. Do you keep your sound on when you're playing at all, or?
On my phone, yeah.
Well, I get a glitch all the time, and it's in BlueStacks and on my phone. Where after they get done, there's just this wah 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 wah. And if you have to go open a Bronzium to get it to stop, and I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah,
I will have to keep an ear out for that. I have never heard of that, and I have never noticed that.
I'm
So
gonna send
maybe
you a
it does
short after
happen
this
to
that
me.
I made of it. So I got it actually recorded. I'll just so you can hear it.
Hmm.
Um,
Interesting.
so what's the? Are you gonna finish the? Are you gonna take Echo to 7 stars and Omega, or what's your plan for the Bad Batch team in
Uh,
general?
I don't care about Omega. She's garbage. I don't need her. Echo, he's just kind of like he's gonna stay where he is. I mean, I could get him to gear 11 like that. He's not part of the ship. The Chirotechs are prohibitive. So gear 9. I mean, he just needs to be faster. So I mean, the Bad Batch are for the ship, and the
Right.
fact that they're a good team is just icing on the cake. They have been actually really useful in my Bronzium Carbonite Grand Arenas. They've been fun. I gave Hunter the Zeta, and I'm almost done farming tech shards, so that'll be great. I have to farm Wrecker forever because he's got the Y-wing on his node,
Oh
even though I
yeah.
already have him,
Right.
which is nice. But shard shop currency.
And
Yeah, Bad Batch, they're valuable.
I'm gonna apologize too. I've catching some of your videos, some of them not. And I could get all this from updates, but I know you can relate. I'm sure you just can't watch all of it. It's just impossible while
Yes, all
you're
right, Nooch. I haven't watched one of your videos in a few months, but I'll get
excellent,
around to
excellent,
all
good.
of them soon.
We'll get to.
I don't
We'll
really
have
watch much YouTube. Period. I'm just really busy, so
you're a
I
busy
feel
man.
you.
You mean you're rehabbing your house? All
Yeah.
right. Qui-Gon Omicron's your first Omicron. Savage is on there. What are some other little things that you've done or generally free to play experience this year? We can wrap it up on this, but because a big part of my audience is free to play and they're following my free to play accounts and yours too. And by the way, if you haven't checked out Songeta, Songeta, you can type it into YouTube, Songeta SWGH. Go check out his Go Tank account, which is this free to play. Plus, he's playing up in Kyber 1, up the top levels of the game, so get some good stuff out of that as well. But Songeta, tell me about like free to play 2024. I know we've talked about Fleet Arena, we've talked about Assault Battles, which I think Assault Battles is the new core farming. Honestly, that's how I
Yeah.
look at it. You're gonna get
I'm
great
with you.
teams out of it, and you really can't build a roster that climbs through Grand Arena anymore. That's not a thing anymore. You just advance at your pace. So, what are the things you've come across this year doing free to play? And it's the first time you've done it in maybe I guess ever, right? Just total free to play from the beginning. What are some thoughts you can share with our folks here?
Well, it's the first time I've done it since YouTube starting a new account, but I've always been free to play. And I'm in no hurry, so we don't need to like finish on this if you want to keep talking. I mean, I've noticed a lot of the same things. We're on the same page with the assault battles. I said earlier, fleet assault battles, and then GAC. Extremely important to get in a guild that's like doing either like Sith raid or the new raid, and it doesn't have to be a big guild. This is what people are missing. Like, you don't have to be in a huge guild. You need to be in an active guild. You need to be in a guild where people are getting 600 tickets. Like, that is the most important thing. Like that you're running the raid often. So like you don't have to be in a huge guild. And yes, like it's nice to get some get to, but I think endurance is going to be good enough for a long time that you don't need to be super worried about getting negotiator, even though that is my focus.
Mhm.
7-star will be kind of like the big breakout, but yeah, you build things up. One thing I'm going to try to do, and whatever future farming guides I do, is less focus on the journey guide, because I think that is less of a priority. It's nice to pick up characters, but I am like really close. I've been sitting on being close to get CLS for a long time, and I just haven't pushed it because what do I get out of it? I have Han and Chewie. I have unlocked Chewie because Bosk is a priority anyway. I have a gear 11 Bosk. It was easy once I got him to 5 stars to unlock Chewbacca, but it's like Phoenix are filling the rebel role. that's going to be for assault battles. I do want CLS, but it's just I'm not in a super hurry. I unlocked Padme, and because she gets Cairo gated at gear 8, I'm just going to go with Qui-Gon, like for Grand Arena. Not really. Obviously, it's not really good in
Yeah.
TW or anything, but nothing I have is good in TW for us because everything's like relics. So just a little less focus on the journey guide and really just focus on what the best thing is for your roster right now. Which one unit or which one addition to your farming is going to have the biggest, widest impact. And there's a lot, like there's so many good characters that you just directly farm. You don't need, there aren't prerequisites to get it. You just directly go for them. And I don't think starting an account with like an end game goal in mind is important. Like I don't think you need to say I'm going to go for this GL or that GL. Like I don't think that really matters. I think you just decide that after like 8 months or something. What are you going to go for? Because if you're like if you can get them pretty fast, like you could get like Sith Eternal in 9 months or something. But it's like what else do you have after that?
Right.
Well, you get like good Imperial troopers or something, but I don't know. Like you need to like look at things itemized. Like I was talking about assault battles, fleet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same mind, and I've done the rushes, right? I rushed Kylo in 9.5 months. I rushed Sith Eternal in it was 8.75 months. I think I unlocked him, and his ult was 2 weeks later. I'm just on Jabba tickets now. It took 51 weeks to get to Jabba, which was what I said it was going to be a year, and I'm pleasantly surprised that I basically got it right.
Very
where
good.
yeah, and that's because for me, I wanted to test out. You know, a year ago they changed the guild events currency. You could get Rolo and Wampa and Hermit much easier now than you could previously.
Yeah.
So I wanted to test out and see how quickly we can get there. Well, it takes a year free to play, and you know that's nice. And I'll have a Galactic Legend, and I'm not planning on continuing the account, but I kind of want to show these things, and I think the more that you and I and other content creators can experiment with it, the more we come up with ideas about what is that ideal farming path, and is there an ideal farming path? Is there like a legitimate one-way farming path? And I just think the game is in such a great place that there isn't. There are really important and good ways of looking at it. Like we said, fleets, assault battles, and Grand Arena, but one path to get there and make the absolute best farm. There's just a lot of different ways to do it.
I actually think it will get kind of triple distilled into like this one base that's going to be the best no matter what. Like these teams are the best, are going to get these assault battles done. Challenge tier 1, like get your Piet trooper, like Veer's troopers to like I don't know gear 13 flat, and then you get your Phoenix to like gear 13 or relic 3. I feel like you could like scientifically like really nerd out and like distill it into you got to get these. Like the order is up to you, but you got to get these, and then you do something else.
I think you just called me a nerd.
Hey, I'm a nerd.
I think if we're making this video, we might be a nerd. I don't know. I'm just saying. Oh, I'll just speak for myself. So, man, we're on the same page with a lot of stuff here, and I made my farming guide for 2024 back in December, and I addressed assault battles, but I didn't really address it as how I think about it now. And I think especially after the Lightspeed bundles coming out, if you're going to be grabbing Lightspeed bundles, if you're not doing free to play, do the assault battle. I mean, I know he's got Night Sisters, but you can't plan for that. If you plan for the assault battles, it's like you said, you're building a foundation, you're building infrastructure for your roster, and that's just the way to go right now, because you need your roster to be as big as possible to open up different game modes. And the bigger your roster is, the better you do in Grand Arena, whatever the composition. I mean, if it's a horrible composition, but you're gonna have teams on there.
And another little thing that's hard to plan for is that is benefited by a broad rosters. Galactic challenges, they are not negligible. Like being able to get, I just got my first double Omicron Galactic challenge because it was the Galactic Republic ships.
Yeah,
but they are not easy to like get. Like even having, like you could have one strong team that can get the complete the battle feat, and then like just I don't know, get a little bit, but like the feats are very wide, they're unpredictable. So like having the most stuff you can to get at that, it helps a lot. And the gear is decent, mods are good. It's something.
But getting those 2 Omicrons, that's the main thing. And I don't know who I was watching, and it might even be an Arnold. He said, I don't know if it wasn't, I don't know, but they're like, hey, if you can't get to the red crate, that's fine. Get to the double gold stripe crate because that's where you get your 2 Omicrons. And if you just get that every time, you're going to be in really good shape because a lot of times you either don't have the roster to get the red crate, or even if you have the roster, it could be it could be a chore. And I know you got Scribble out there and you got Bit Dynasty putting really great content out there for each individual one of them. But even when they do it, it's like they say something. I did this like 5 or 6 times, and I'm just not going to do that. It's just not my. It's
Yeah, they get exhausting when they really overtune them for just endgame players. It's like, oh,
especially like fleets. I hate Fleet Galactic. I just hate them.
They're so overtuned at the low end too. It's ridiculous.
Yes. All right, man. Well, I know you got time, but I'm gonna. Well, you got any final thoughts or anything?
You don't have time.
As I'm going toward my Lord Vader, I'm not going straight to Lord. This is not a straight Lord Vader, as we've established, right? What are some things that I can think about? Because right now I'm sitting on, I'm gonna get the whole Bad Batch team, and I'm plugging Captain Rex in there right now. Actually, is what I'm doing because I'm not gonna farm the Phoenix either until I have to. I don't know if I ever have to. Actually, now that I say it, so he's gonna plug in my Bad Batch and. He does enough stuff that makes the Bad Batch better, more than Omega. And he does a lot more damage and just everything he does. But any thoughts for stuff that I should plug in or do?
You're running with Bad Batch?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
You're running Captain Rex with Bad Batch?
Yes, sir.
So you're not doing a typical Phoenix?
No, I'm not gonna. So the teams I'm avoiding are the Geos, the Geo ships, Phoenix, and I'm gonna avoid the traditional. Dark Trooper and Veers Troopers, which I know you're not a big fan of any. Yeah, there it is.
Come on. Why even make an account?
Well, for me, as an early team, all the way through the late game, the Troopers are so good. And you want to talk about assault battles? I mean, that's your team. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use I'll use my clones in the military might, and I'm going to use an Iden team. That's the second team I'm going to develop. I'm going to try that out in the on Endor Escalation and on Rebel Roundup. I just want to see what it does and see how far I can get because I want to experiment with different things just to see how that mixes in the game,
If they do work, that'd be great. I just feel like that, especially Rebel Roundup is the harder one. I don't know if they have what it takes.
I think the beef with Iden Troopers is they don't lead you anywhere, except you can get a TIE Defender. But other than that, it's a bunch of nondescript troopers. The good part is they're not that hard to gear. It's going to be a higher,
They're easy.
Yeah, Snow Trooper, Magma Trooper, Storm Trooper. It's 100 Kyrotechs each to get them to Relic. They don't need Zetas, so it's other than Iden with her Zeta and her Omicron, it's a pretty cheap team to upgrade. So that's kind of the benefit of trying that out early on. And if my opponent doesn't have Wampa, I'm throwing them on defense, and we'll get some holds out of it too. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, let me know how that goes. I mean, Iden is good, but if I had to go without any of those, okay. So I was talking about. Okay, you're running Bad Batch with Captain Rex. I mean, that's decent. I'm actually running my 5s with my Bad Batch as the 5th, just because I got him for the ship, and he's gear 12, and I actually got some holds because he's got tons of protection. I don't want to throw a wet blanket on everything, but I think Lord Vader is possibly the worst thing you could go for as a long-term big farm, because unless you can get Maul magically super fast, he's going to be without his his best buddy that really makes him top tier. It's really hard to make Lord Vader work super well by himself. I mean, you can get you have Darth Vader and stuff, so it's okay. If you get him and you're in Chromia or something, you can make a lot of use out of him. But he just requires the most Kyrotech, the most gear, the most relic materials. Yep. He's the steepest climb. One benefit it could be that he's both Empire and Sith, so you could use him in 2 different assault battles. But if you have to do Challenge Tier 3 before you get him, then you're already there.
Right. Well, and I'll tell you, I faced a 3v3 Lord Vader team today that had Maul and Kylo Ren unmasked. It didn't need Maul. I could not get through crew with the 15% health and protection datacron on it. I couldn't get through them.
Well, did they have the that thing where it gives damage immunity?
No.
Or
My Galactic Legend was Jedi Master Luke. And it's not a great Lord Vader matchup regardless. But I got crew in the yellow a couple of times and I just couldn't. He had a modded for protection.
Beat the crew?
Yeah.
Who were you using? What?
It was Jedi Master Luke and
Jedi
Master Luke, Hermit Yoda and Luke, Jedi Knight Luke. And crew was modded for protection, so he converted all that into health. Then you get 15% extra health and protection for each one on there. And he had I think, one defense primary on him as well. And doesn't Lord Vader do something else for unaligned Force users that I'm not?
They take reduced damage from light side UFUs, but that wouldn't really apply.
Yeah, that wouldn't apply. That didn't apply. No, that doesn't apply at all. So yeah, I couldn't get through him now. And it was a Relic 9 Jedi Master Luke too. So we'll see. Regardless, that's what everybody's voted for me. So that's what I'm doing. And it's definitely got us going on, like I said, not parallel, but we're definitely on a lot of the same. And I'm gonna get after 5s. That's gonna be my farm going forward and getting him out there. I definitely will have to figure out where to plug and play Captain Rex, whether it's on the 501st team when I get that up, or on the Bad Batch. The one clone synergy that Rex has outside of Grand Arena is when once per turn, if a clone goes below 50% health, they add, is it 50% health and protection or 25% or something like that? Something like that.
I think it's like,
let's see.
There's a 35 somewhere. I don't know if it's like you get 35% back.
There it is.
Or you fall 35%.
Whenever clone trooper ally falls below 50% health, they recover 35% health and protection once per turn. And if you're modded up for protection, that's a good return on your value. So
yeah, I mean, if you have him and then you also get 5s, I mean, 3v3 you run 5s lead and then cracks and then like a non-501st.
Right.
Third, because if you don't have 5 Zeta and you want to avoid that, which I would advise, because you're not doing a full 501st, that he still sacrifices himself. You just get nothing out of it. So like you just run 5s, cracks, and then like really anyone. You don't even have to have a clone there. But if you're, I don't know. I forget what you farm for Lord Vader, but just something in the third for 3v3, and then you have like your Bad Batch team. But then 5v5, he'd probably be better than 5s in that Bad Batch team, just because he's awesome.
Yeah, and I think I think he also has some more protection recovery. Whenever a clone trooper or Phoenix ally is inflicted with a debuff, he gains 5% turn meter, and all allies recover 5% health and protection. So so they're constantly, if he's gaining debuffs, whenever a clone trooper or Phoenix ally, that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, he's so good.
He's Captain Rex and Marauder and Zori last year. I mean, they just transformed. The whole game changed with just 3 different, and there's probably another 1 or 2 I'm not thinking of. Just those lifters out there, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, random marquees.
Yeah, right. And I don't know if Stat was supposed to be that. It's not quite as good, but still, it still lives Grievous to where he wasn't before. But yeah, not as good, like you see.
I mean, he's good in Kyber 1, like with Omicron and everything, but he's not impactful for the whole game.
Right,
for everybody.
Right. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm glad. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me today in the middle of your house rehab, sir.
It's not a whole house rehab, just an area, but I'm happy to be here. I always love talking to you about the beginning of the game. I think you got a good approach to thinking about it. You just are, as I say, a glutton for punishment with how many new accounts you make.
I find it to be, I'm enjoying playing in Kyber on my main account now, which is now my pay-to-play account. But I just like the beginning journey. It's so much fun, and you may have found this too. When I started doing it, I started doing this last year, beginning of 2023. I started a free-to-play account, and I started to realize there just wasn't a lot of that content out there to say, hey, here's stuff that beginners need to know. And there's a lot of farming guides and farm this and stuff, but like to say, actually, hey, beginners, here's a very basic information. And what I've seen over time is those videos I post for beginners, they just keep getting views because people are watching them, because the game is attracting a lot of players right now with everything that's going on. So that was a big thing I learned by starting some free-to-play accounts last year. And I like it.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to have the one and only that'll probably start But yeah, no, it really helps to see where it's at now as opposed to like 5 years ago.
Exactly.
But yeah, more power to you for getting that info out to all of them.
All right, sir. Well, Songeta, guys, if you haven't checked out his channel, go check it out for sure. It's the good part about me. The good thing, I think, the best thing about you and me is, I think we have similar outlooks on the game. We have a similar approach, but our outlooks kind of maybe vary sometimes with how we look at the game, and I think that's really important in life, in gaming, and whatever. You've got to have that balance. You've got to have the curmudgeon named Songeta and the eternal optimist named Nooch, or something like that. Sorry.
True.
You get a bad rap sometimes. Hey, thanks, Songeta. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, everybody. Remember, Nooch and Songeta, too good.